Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Business Growth Strategies Podcast. I'm your host, Manny Martinez, and this is the podcast where we show you how to grow your business online. If you like the idea of growth in your business, make sure you like, subscribe, leave us a review, and download these podcast episodes available on every major platform. In today's episode, we're going to be going over Omnipatch.com. Omnipatch is a 12-hour release patch of vitamins and other science-backed ingredients that help support you through your long days and sometimes long nights. In addition to trying to find out how we can pack a Big Mac burger from McDonald's into one of these patches, we also get super granular in trying to target our audience in this niche market. So if you're looking for a cure for your hangover, this is the patch for you. But if you're looking to grow your business, this is the podcast. Enjoy the episode.
Welcome to the Business Growth Strategies Podcast. For over 20 years, our team has been utilizing digital marketing tactics to help businesses generate more leads, close more sales, increase customer retention, and make their team more efficient. We're excited to share what we've learned and help you grow your business.
We're just talking right now.
Oh.
I just wanted to share with you guys that when I'm on the go and I've got a busy day and I need some cookies that taste like butter, I grab Lorna Doone shortbread. They're just the right amount of sweet with absolutely no kick.
Hear, hear. Lorna Doone to Lorna Doone.
Yeah.
Lorna Doone.
Yes. Yeah. What are we doing?
Well,
What are we doing?
yeah, we got Omnipatch today. That's ONMI patch.com.
On me.
Yes.
Like on me. Like it goes on me.
On me? On me or on me?
On me. On.
On.
Who says on?
Turn the light on.
That's
You
AWN.
say turn the light on?
Turn the light on.
On?
Turn the light on.
You're so Amish.
Kyle, help me out
You're
here.
so Amish. Is it on or on?
You say one?
Yeah, that's what he's
On.
saying. That's what
Do you say
Manny is saying.
do you say coffee or do you say coffee?
Coffee.
I say yawn, AWN, and I say on, ON.
Although
Light
like
on.
orca, you know what I mean? Like I can think of some like real like round O's like that.
On.
I don't have-
on.
But I don't have time for all that. I don't have,
Turn one. Okay.
All right, I
Let's-
concede. OnMePatch.com. It's a 12-hour release
I'm
patch.
right. You're wrong, Manny.
It's a 12-hour release patch that contains like vitamins and stuff like that in it.
So I love this idea.
Yeah, no sugar, no artificial colors, nothing like that. They're all natural.
Can I consume actual food this way and not gain any weight?
I think you wouldn't have to consume.
Can I put
'Cause you would
Kyle,
still get all your
I want to
nutrients.
take a McDonald's burger and put it inside of an Omnipatch and consume all of the health of the burger.
Dave, you just said Omnipatch. You didn't say Omnipatch.
I said on me.
well,
Can
they
I
have
eat
a
McDonald's with it or not, Manny? That's what matters.
I don't think.
I think what you need
that's their
in that
goal.
case, I think is you need a patch like for your tongue. So you still get the taste of the McDonald's without the
There it is.
without the nutrition.
Do you think though? I think if I never got hungry, I wouldn't have to eat.
Right. These would just inject all those nutrients into your skin.
Yeah, I might be wrong, but I don't know. I really think it's
Does the food keep you alive, or is it the nutrients that the food provides that keeps you alive? Because those vitamins and all that you can get from.
well, you have to burn.
Omnipatch.
You have to have the
What's
calories.
the calories? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, can I have a 1,200 calorie a day on a little on me patch? All right.
This is a profit path.
Yes. Look out. Consume food through the bottom of your foot with on me patch.
So, Kyle, what do you know about these guys? Take your time. Take your time.
Kyle, we've got all afternoon.
Here's what I know about these guys. So we actually met with them.
Cool.
They were looking for a digital strategy to bring in, the thing that you've got to do with a product like this is you've got to do a lot of educating of the consumer, because what you end up with is people asking if you can have like a a patch maybe that provides 1,200 calories a day, and you have to educate people that no, you can't do something.
You can't have a Big Mac inside of one of these patches. No. Right.
All right. No McDonald's Happy Meals in the patches. Okay.
And actually, as I'm looking at it, since we spoke with them, I'm looking at a different website than they had.
Oh, wow.
At that point, and it looks great. It's a beautiful site. So I'm really interested to kind of dig in and see what they do, because they've got a bunch of different types of products, right? So they've got patches for killing food cravings, for energy, for healthy weight, hangover relief, vitamins, sleep.
So, and I'm assuming it works the same way, obviously, as a nicotine patch does, where you're absorbing nicotine through the skin.
But they're completely clear, right? Like that's one of their sticks is like you don't even notice it's there.
It does look to be clear. Translucent.
Yeah.
Translucent, I would say. So, and they want to go direct to consumer, I'm imagining, but do they also want to talk to the 25,555 buyers that I have listed in front of me right here on my computer screen?
Why wouldn't they?
Do they also want to talk to them to sell to stores? Like, do they want to go B to B to C?
CVS.
Well, they've got a pretty
Walgreens.
significant Amazon presence as well.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Do you know if they do want to sell to buyers? Oh, they have a wholesale link. Aha. I see.
They also have an affiliate and ambassadors link, so they're definitely doing some affiliate stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
Which, I think for them, I'm getting a little bit ahead of ourselves right now, but they've got a huge huge opportunity to tap into influencer marketing, for a product this. For a product where it's before, and I don't know if Dave and I have ever talked about this, Manny, I've never talked about it with you for sure, but prior to even opening up the karate school, I sold like fitness equipment, so like barbells and squat racks and pull-up rigs and stuff like that primarily to CrossFit gyms, and realized pretty fast in that business that like that's not a product that people need to buy very often.
Right.
And so you've got a rapidly dwindling supply of people who need that, because you don't really re-up on pull-up rigs. Like once you've got one, it lasts forever.
Yeah.
But a product like this, which I love, because they've got a subscribe button right up there at the top, so these are people who I assume, you kind of want to almost get people onto like the ritual of it. It's like you get out of the shower in the morning, you dry yourself off, you stick on your energy patch or whatever, and it becomes part of your lifestyle and you're subscribed to it. So, it's as much a part of your routine as eating breakfast or, whatever else you do during the day. So yeah, there's a ton of opportunity both on the wholesale side as well as on the direct to consumer side, driving traffic and awareness through influencers. I mean, we can go a million different directions with this.
Awesome.
Right on. So they redid their site. You said, I'm going to share my screen, Manny, if that's okay.
Yes, please.
So I have an interesting thing here I'm going to share. Sharing my screen. The participants can see the screen. So whenever somebody updates their site, and Manny and I were actually in California this last weekend, hanging out with a bunch of successful jewelry store and jewelry related owners. And a lot of them had this exact challenge where they had redesigned their site and now they have all these broken backlinks and their traffic dwindled to nothing. So I just threw them into Ahrefs here, Omnipatch, and looked at broken backlinks. Excuse my voice, by the way, today. I'm sounding soothing and sexy. That's what I'm trying to go
Got a
for.
radio voice on today. Yeah?
But they used to have a hemp related page. And the reason that's important is because there are pages like this one where they're actually talking right here about this specific product. And they're like, hey, you can get more information. Nope, that's the wrong one. Hold up. Nope. Where are they? Hang on a minute.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually see they're like, hey, shop it right here. Check it out. And you click it and it goes to.
Oh, it goes through a lot of different directions.
And then goes to a broken page. So this is the previous link is here, product/hemp. So they need to move that. My assumption is that the new one is here. CBD.omnipatch. They probably decided to. So that should be
to move away from the hemp branding.
Yeah. So that should be redirected here if it's relevant. I'm assuming it's the same thing, but considering this is a CBD shopping guide that it's on, I imagine, so when you go through, like whenever you're doing a redesign, there's going to be a lot of people that have talked about you in the past. And this is an affiliate link actually. So this person, Carla Snuggs, I don't know if this is Carla or not, but Carla is trying to make money and getting a commission off of, selling this. That's why it went through all those links. They're all tracking links. Right. So, unfortunately, she's not going to be getting anything from that. But this now doesn't count as a link either because it's broken. And so another great thing to do, like if you're the CEO and you don't really know what links you had in the past, you can go to archive.org. We've never talked about this before. No. And type in Omnipatch. Omnipatch. On. And you can see when things have been updated. And this one shows that there's an update March 1, February 3. So we can check out what this one was. And the reason this is important is because it's going to show you the old links if this is indeed the old site. So anyone who is not technical can go to archive.org, put in their site, and then they can see what it used to look like as this loads. But in addition, it'll show you as you mouse over things what the old site URLs were, and you can see if they're now broken. And if they're now broken, is this what it used to look like? Kyle?
That is what it used. No, that's what it looks like right now.
So we can actually go back, and I don't want to take a lot of time doing this, but we can go back to February 3rd. Do you know when you met with them?
We met with them. It was probably, let's see, I can go back and look. It was sometime late last year, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. January 10th.
Okay. So let's just go back then. And you can see 2021. So December 19th, here's a screenshot. So this will probably show you the actual old one. This is a great exercise to go through anyway, because it kind of records where you're at, where you've been, all that kind of stuff. Come on now, load them up. It takes a while to load, which kind of stinks.
Takes a second,
especially if you're doing recording a podcast while you're trying to do it. So the whole point here is we can go through and you can see it was /pages/y-patches. Okay. So you see I moused over here just to see that down below at the bottom right in this area. So /pages/y-. Okay. So that is still relevant. So sometimes when you have a redesign, all the URLs change on the site, and you have to make sure that you're through and redirecting the old ones to the new ones, or you lose out. So, yeah.
Which is called a
301 redirect.
Thank you. Kyle, what do you got on your end?
I'm looking at the traffic side of things for them, and what I'm seeing, one of the things that I'm seeing is on the way that I would generate traffic, because this is one of those products, we talk a lot about interruption versus intent, right? And when we talk about interruption versus intent, what we have to realize is that people are searching for there are certain products that people search for because they are commoditized, or because there's a lot of people who offer them and people are product aware. They may not be brand aware necessarily, but they're aware that this category of products exists, right? I'm aware that I can buy mountain bikes, right? But if you were to create a brand new product that is a jet powered mountain bike or a solar powered mountain bike, then all of a sudden the search volume for that type of product is going to decrease substantially, right? So one of my favorite examples, and I get targeted with this thing all the time, probably because I talk about it all the time, is there's a product called Jet Surf, and Jet Surf is a jet powered surfboard, right? The search volume for jet powered surfboard is probably very, very, very low. Yeah. And so if Jet Surf is this company, if Jet Surf's whole strategy was we are going to run paid search ads and we are going to be the one for people who are searching for jet powered surfboards, well, that company is going to go out of business pretty fast because nobody's searching for jet powered surfboards. So what's
720 people a month are, but
720 people a month. Well, I wonder how many, where does, we can get into that. But what I
do you know who they are though? To your point though, Kyle, I bet they're the people that have seen the ads.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? Because you're right. Nobody's thinking of that out of the blue.
Yeah.
But what I want to look at, and what I have started to take a look at, is there are 1,300 searches a month for vitamin patch and vitamin patches. And, I think that if you replaced vitamin with even something like electrolyte, that obviously
nutrient.
Nutrient would be a good one. But then it also sort of raises the question now, and we're talking about search specifically in SEO. And I'm going to go a different direction in just a second. But when we're talking about like people searching for a specific type of product, I also want to look at like, what is the competitor to Omnipatch that doesn't necessarily need to be a patch? Like, what other types of product solve the same problem? Like I think about like those 5-hour energy shots, or like when you go to the gas station, how like right on the counter, it's like hangover relief and, sleep well, like the little shots, right? Yeah. I don't know, from an efficacy or like a science backing standpoint, but like if I'm a consumer, then the patch that I put on my arm from Omnipatch and the little, 2-ounce bottle of liquid, they're going to accomplish the same objective for me, but the vehicle of delivery obviously is very different. So I may be searching for like vitamin shot. Well, and then we open up, to a completely different category of things, because now we're talking about needles that go into my leg, right? So there's all these different things True. Where like I use depression as the example all the time, right? If I'm a therapist, I'm not just competing with other therapists. I'm also competing with liquor stores. I'm competing with, a bunch of other different types of things that people use to solve the same problem. Like what else am I going to look for? So I think that's where I would really sort of dig in. And that's why it's so important to really understand your consumer and what they're actually looking for.
I love that, dude. And in SEMrush, like there's a really cool tool called Market Explorer. And like to your point, I was looking up hangover cure, which gets like 70,000 searches a month. So that's the person looking up like the problem, right? They're not looking for a patch, but they're looking for, a solution. So then you look up like hangover cure, and you got, wow, there's like nobody marketing this on the paid side.
Nobody marketing hangover cure?
No.
That's crazy.
There's some people doing Google Shopping ads, but like no, like.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I wasn't planning on going down this path. My bad. So yeah, I just typed in hangover cure, and I got that from here. So I typed in hangover. Whoops. So this is Market Explorer, and you can add a bunch of people into this list. What it does, it creates an entire like world that hits on the things that you're actually talking about. So if I would go through here and add in some of these other places, like, the hangover cure people and all that kind of stuff, it actually creates like a market and shows you where else those people are going online, which hits your point. So like it shows you where, are they also looking at, dual seater bicycles? Are they looking at like what else? Do they play tennis a lot? Like all that kind of stuff. So, and then you can hit them, where they actually are, which is cool.
Right. If you're like, I heard somebody describe one time, like, and the example of what we're really talking about now is observing and responding to and meeting consumers at where their behavior sort of places them and the things that we can see. So like, you know, I think it was probably Qasim that was talking about the behavioral and demographic and psychographic data factors that Google has on you, and how, you know, if you've got a phone in your pocket that's got Google Maps installed on it and you drive from point A to point B, and Google Maps thinks it should take 27 minutes to get from point A to point B, and you drive it in 19 minutes, then all of a sudden Google can, or, you know, advertisers can start showing you ads for car insurance, right? Because now you're not a safe driver.
Nice.
You know, because Google knows it's this far away, and I know what roads you're taking, I know what roads you took, and I know what the speed limit is on those roads. So I know how fast you should have gotten there, and you got there faster than you should. So now you have just exhibited a behavior that puts you in a certain category. So I think that, like, with a product like this, you almost have to go, especially because we're talking about hangover relief, we're talking about energy, we're talking about sleep aids, we're talking about multivitamins, and all of those things. Like, when you put them in a category like that, you go, okay, cool. Yeah, I totally understand how one company that produces all of these products could be doing all of these things, and I could have a patch for each of these different things. But when you break it down by the product, those serve a very different, they solve a very different problem, right? Sure. Right. They scratch a very different itch. And so when I go in and I start looking at, like, who's going to buy the hangover relief product and why, you know, like, maybe it's people who are super health conscious and very rarely drink, but they've got a New Year's Eve party coming up, or a corporate holiday, party or something, where it's like, gosh, I never do this, and I know I'm going to regret it tomorrow. And then you've also got the people who are going to subscribe to a product like that, where you're going to go like, all right, you're going to drink frequently enough that you're going to need something like this. Totally different demographic, totally different messaging. Same thing for sleep. Is it the busy entrepreneur? Is it the new parent? Is it the, like, there's so many
Geo-target the wine and spirit stores.
Yeah, well, just like, I mean, you could do that.
Dude, that's amazing.
Liquor,
yeah.
Geo-target liquor stores with the hangover product. Reveal Mobile is
okay.
They
add in not only the geo-targeting, but they actually add in the element of a date too. So like, you could hit up the people like, that like save a list from last Christmas of all the people that went to the liquor store the day before Christmas Eve or something, and then start advertising to them at the beginning of December.
Could you imagine being in the line at the liquor store and pulling up your Facebook because the line's taking so long? You get an ad for hangover pets. It's awesome.
It's crazy. Yeah. So, I mean, another thing too on that note is, like, we met a lot of people at this jewelry event that we keynoted at, who love buying their competitors. And like, it's kind of funny because I'm looking at this one right now, called the Plug drink. So, it was interesting. So, hangover cure, like, nothing's here. You add the word drink, and there's all these people doing ads. It's kind of crazy. But anyway, I grabbed one of them. It was the Plug drink. And this is going back to our normal, thing that we do every time, but it's so important. So, specifically they're buying their own name, and
which is an insurance policy, because I can buy your name just as easily as you could buy your name.
Yeah.
But when it comes to quality score and relevance of the ad, if we're buying, say that there's, X number of different, business growth agencies in the Lancaster, Pennsylvania area, and we all buy the phrase Conklin Media, then conklinmedia.com is going to get those clicks for a much, much, much lower price than, XYZ agency down the street, because it's more relevant. It's, somebody searching for that. I'm going to pay less to show you the ad that takes you to that page.
Yeah. And I mean, you could have right here above Amazon, like, literally you could have, alternative to the Plug or something, you got to be careful because you can't hit their trademark term in ad text. But if it just the Plug, I don't know.
When you still want to unplug, or like something that's like
exactly.
Bit like,
put a plug in it.
Yeah. But there's a partypatch.com, there's a boozebandage.com.
Wow.
Like there's a lot of these that do that,
Yeah. So, you start digging through and really seeing what ads they're running and stuff. That can be a huge benefit for sure. Yeah.
Well, I think it also, and to go a little bit of a different direction, is, I want to show you what each of these things look like, right? So this is booze bandage. Got the boat, got the beer, right? Like got the young people, they're putting it on there, and
Is this their homepage, Kyle?
This is Boost Bandage. Yeah, this is their homepage. Okay. Right. So here's a little bit about how it works, whatever. Wedding parties, great. Like we're all partying. Party Patch is even more like we're partying. Like here's some young, attractive people. Here's a hot girl drinking a drink. Like we're all going to feel great tomorrow. Here's a guy with those drinks you should never drink because they make you feel like crap the next day. Like look at all these people. But then you go to Omnipatch, right? And it looks like you're at a doctor's website.
Yeah.
It's a completely different feeling when I'm on this page than it is when I'm on like the direction you take when, like when you've got this one, and this is the CBD one, but let's say that you've got, let's go away from the CBD one, but let's say that you've got Omnipatch, right? And it's very friendly, it's very inviting, whatever, but it looks more like a medical product than it does like have you been out like crazy last night? It's much more relaxed. It's much more upscale. It's the adults hangover patch, right? And I think that that's really, really important to kind of convey not only in the images that you use, but also in the messaging that you use, because you're targeting a different consumer, right? You're targeting somebody very different would use this than the person that would use this, even though, essentially the product I would assume is identical, if so.
They might disagree with you, but I would agree. Yeah.
Certainly from a consumer standpoint.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll say too, like, two ideas. So we love doing, cold email, and I threw up a couple of, no pun intended on the throw up there with the hangover patch.
Nice.
Come on, that was good, guys.
That was good.
Give me some cred. So these are like, this is something called Uplead, and there's a ton of lead providers. They're pulling data from LinkedIn and stuff, like any leads and a bunch of other places too. But these are all buyers in the US. So people that have buyer in their title that are in some kind of retail industry. Okay. So literally there's 25,000 of them, but think about this too. Like you could literally pull up retail shop owners in Ocean City, Maryland, and in popular beach towns during spring break, and or people that are going to be going to spring break and stuff like that. And you can target those people with these pretty aggressively. But the store owners in the beach towns, and also, and literally your cold email could be like, hey, can I send you a free sample? Because those people are potential, repeat buyers of massive quantities. It goes back to the bulk memory cards thing that we did, and just really, market the heck out of them to the buyers. So again, you can export a list like this, put it into Facebook, and specifically market just to these people on Facebook with an ad that says like, sell hangover patches in your store. Or, if it's a locally owned GNC type place, you can go after the vitamin stuff, or, you could sell to doctor's offices. Or,
they're not in any chains currently. Are they in CVS or Walgreens or anything like that?
I have no idea either.
It looks, based on the way that their website is set up, it doesn't, like, I don't see any like find a store. I don't see any of that. Like usually if somebody has a pretty strong retail presence, then they kind of push you to the retail presence. They look like they're going pretty hard direct to consumer. But Dave, again, to your point, and it kind of reminds me, I think I've told this story before about how the Yellow Pages grew their business with the yellow phones. And if you haven't heard it, it's really simple. What they did is they went through and they were trying to sell ads in the Yellow Pages. They went to a bunch of pizza shops. They installed a yellow phone and they said, we're going to run ads in the Yellow Pages for your pizza shop, but the number we're going to use is the number for this yellow phone. And so that yellow phone, all of a sudden, because people are looking at pizza shops in the Yellow Pages, that yellow phone starts ringing like crazy. And then a month later, the Yellow Pages rep comes back in and goes, okay, well, thanks for your time. I'm going to take this yellow phone. And they go like, absolutely. No, you're not. Where do you like that? Right. And so they go, okay, cool. Let's talk about ads in the Yellow Pages. Well, I think what you could do, Dave, to build on that point is, there's so many of those little beach towns and little beach shops and all those sorts of things that if you were able to somehow aggregate a list of those, and then you sent one unit, one box of the hangover patches to them, just like, hey, retail price on this is $6.99. You know, go ahead and sell it in your store, courtesy of us, you know, and here's your contact information for your sales rep. Then all of a sudden you're going to have your phone ringing off the hook. Like, you know, we could not keep those things on our shelf. We need you to, you know, ship them to us over and over and over again, which is an expensive customer acquisition model. But if you know exactly who you're going to target, then I think it, you know, it sort of forces people's hands a little bit, because you're not having to convince them. You're just saying like, here, sell this.
Yeah.
So while you were saying that, Kyle, about like stores in the beach towns, so I did Ocean City, Maryland, and Ocean City, New Jersey, and retail. So here's a list of retail stores, you know, in that beach town, just to give you an idea.
And with a virtual assistant, you could go through and you could find the physical mailing address for all of those different locations. You could do a mass mailer to all of them, include a box of Omnipatches, you know, hangover relief patch, sell them, you know, tell them, hey, look, these things sell for,
and you don't even need with this, you don't even need, like, right there's the mailing address.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, perfect.
So in this particular case.
Yeah.
So I want to get back to the paid search. If they were to start putting ads in front of people, where are they sending those people to close that sale? And is that page going to actually close the sale, or would you make recommendations on a new landing page?
If I landed so if I'm, let's say, it goes back to interruption versus intent. So if I am looking at a group of people that are a cold audience, let's say on Instagram, let's say I wanted to advertise this product on TikTok, right? Which I think is a perfectly viable platform for this product.
For sure.
Right. I don't even know that I would touch Facebook proper. I would probably stick to Instagram, TikTok. That's it. And if I wanted to focus on a group of people who are interested in nightlife, who are interested in, you know what I mean? Like you can set up the interest factors, right? So you find that group of people, you know, the people who are going out, and you run ads real heavy on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like, hey, planning a big weekend, like we offer free 2-day shipping, you know, like have your Omnipatches ready by the weekend.
Love that.
Yeah.
Even to a college audience too.
Yeah, you could geo-target every college town in the country and only run ads on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I mean, like, and go free 2-day shipping, you know, have your Omnipatch ready to go by Friday. From there, I think you probably could take them directly to a just like purchase now page. Like, I don't think you've got to do a lot of customer education, because for a product like this, it sort of speaks for itself. Like you understand what it does. There's not a whole lot of, you know, I mean, you open up the pack and you put the patch on your arm and then you don't get hungover, or you feel great the next, you know, like like there's not a lot of education that you've got to do. If you're selling a product that is a little bit more complex, that requires a little bit more context to understand, in a situation like that, I want to have a page that explains, here's what it does and here's why it is. And, you know, because when you open up this page, let's say that it's the hangover relief one. When you open up this page, it's, do you want 4 or do you want 12 or do you want 32? Are you buying it once or are you buying it a bunch? Added to your cart, right? It's only once we've gone down here that they start talking about what it actually is. They're basically saying, like, do you want this? And if you scroll, then they're like, all right, fine, we'll tell you about it. Right. But here, you know, of course, it's, you know, all the people telling you that it works. But if the product is a little more complicated, you flip this structure on its head, right? You make what is a more traditional sales page, where you have a big headline that explains the benefit. You explain people, you know, you walk people through it, you overcome their objections, you give them testimonials, and then you say, hey, do you want to buy it? Because now they get it, right? That's kind of how I would approach it.
Makes sense.
I think the only difference would be if you were selling to the stores.
Yeah.
You want some kind of a retail, like, store lander or something.
Makes
like
sense.
That.
Yeah.
Yep. And I always love video testimonials. Give me like 3 good video testimonials of somebody that's used it. And yeah.
I don't see a whole lot of long form content on their site unless I'm missing.
You don't need it.
No. For their SEO stuff, though?
For SEO, you do.
Yeah. So can we dig in there a little bit?
Sure.
Yeah. So when if you do,
Now they do have a blog. It's down in their footer.
which is that's where your long form content should be.
That's great.
Yep. And they publish twice a week, looks like.
Oh, great.
How to prevent a hangover on Super Bowl Sunday. What is a hangover? What foods are high in vitamin B? 10 natural sleep aids to keep bedtime stress-free. What is valerian root? I mean, yeah.
So what I love doing is going into the pages, and hopefully I won't have a coughing fit here again. So when you throw it into SEM Rush, you can see that they're not ranking in SEO for a lot of stuff at all. Just a few pages, or just a few things actually. But if you look at their pages, you can see like hangover. So here are the 31 phrases their hangover page is ranking for. So like they're right there on a lot of these. Check this out.
Yeah.
Patch hangover. That's got 1,300 searches a month nationwide. They're number 10. So all these are on like page 2. They rank for their brand on page 1, but that, everybody knows who they are already. So hangover patch, they're 16. Like this is literally, you take this page of content and you add a ton of long tails to the content. So, which it does not have. So what we would
do inside a scrolling section.
Scrolling div right here, or even like add like an FAQ drop down with plus signs right here, like underneath this, adding all of those long tail phrases like related to hangover patch, hangover everything, build links into this page like crazy, and they would very quickly rank for 10 times the number of keywords, in addition to ranking higher for the stuff that they're already ranking for. So, and we've done that again and again and again.
That's a huge takeaway.
Yeah.
I just think I would assume that the conversion rate on a site like this is probably very, very high.
I agree.
Yeah. I would say that if people land on this site, particularly if they land on this site versus Booze Bandage or Party Patch, and I would assume that those sites probably have very high conversion rates as well. Like this is a product that is built for impulse buys. It is built for the, one thing, if they're not doing it, I haven't added to cart, I can play around with it. But if they're not doing it, if you're running an e-commerce store and you have either a buy now or a subscribe model, where people can do either one, I would have both immediately a one-click upsell to, if I'm going to buy X number of patches for $20 or whatever, I would say, do you want to get 20% off and subscribe for a monthly thing? Like immediately when people buy it. I would also have email and text message follow up. They're probably going to get a lot more engagement from SMS than they are from email on an ongoing basis. So I would make absolutely sure. I mean, just this is table stakes in 2022, but I would make absolutely sure that they're getting as much first party data as they can, because what they've got the potential to do from a community and brand building standpoint is they've got the potential to, set up, like if they took that brand and they opened up, and we're projecting out into the future and extrapolating success to a big degree here. But if they took that and they opened up some of those recovery clinics, where people go in and they get the IV drip of the vitamins and the hangover cures there. Yep. You could take a brand like this and you could expand into so many different product categories if you can create the content on the front end to position yourself as the authority in, vitamin treatment and, holistic wellness and that kind of thing. I think there's a lot of different directions you could go.
Yeah, I agree. And there's each one of these topics, like the whole relax thing. Like I'm sitting here thinking about for my wife, if the sleep one would work for her, because she has a huge challenge with falling asleep at night. Mm-hmm. And something, even though it might not be, something feels like this would be healthier than swallowing a pill.
Well, the thing that's really interesting too is that like Dave, to your point about, your wife has trouble sleeping. and I think about this for her. Those were the words that you used. This product is priced to where the stakes are so low. Like if you bought it, like absolute worst case scenario, you're out $50 and it doesn't work.
Well, hell, you're out like 12. I mean, I can buy 4 of these for $3 a patch.
Yeah, you could buy 4 of them, and then you could subscribe. I mean, they've done a really nice job. I applaud the job that they've done as far as making it really easy. Like we talk sometimes about like tripwire products where like you can kind of test it out. You can become, there's a lot that happens when somebody's relationship shifts from follower or fan to customer, because now I've got, from a technical standpoint, I've got your credit card information, so we can fill that out automatically, and I can completely eliminate the friction on future purchases, and I can upsell you, and I can go, oh, well, if you bought the sleep one, then if you bought the sleep one for nighttime, then you're definitely going to want the relax one for the daytime. And like there's so many different conversations that can be had there that can be contextualized, but there's also a psychological shift that happens when someone buys. Like, I'm way more likely to buy from a company that I've bought from before, there's just a psychological element to it. So the fact that I can go on here, and even if I don't want to spend $12, I can spend on the energy one that I'm looking at right now. I can spend $3.50 and get one of them.
Yeah.
So
very cool. Tons and tons of ideas on this one for sure.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Lots of profit paths there.
It is for real. Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. And if you want us to go through your website, let us know at hello@conklinmedia.com or visit us at businessgrowthstrategies.com. We'll take care of you. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Appreciate it once again.
Peace out.